Do you want to hit better, more solid and longer golf shots? Of course you do, because that is what we all strive for. Yet so many amateur golfers, mid-handicap, high handicap, even the occasional low handicap golfer, do this thing wrong in their takeaway. If you watch any of the world's best players, generally they will all be doing this, and it's such a simple tweak. It's not even a change in your golf swing. Hi everyone, my name's James and welcome back to Get Good at Golf. If you do want to do just that, guys, take 2 seconds, hit that subscribe button below, and of course throw a like on this video. We're well on the way to 50,000 subscribers and we'd love you to be a part of it, and of course lower that handicap. So today I'm going to use a long iron. I'm going to use a 5-iron here because I believe in this that much. I honestly think it could transform your game. All I need is 5 minutes of your time. So get comfortable and let's get good at golf. So initially, what a lot of people say when they're trying to hit good iron shots, and I've even heard this in lessons as well, which is mind-boggling, but let's stand 50-50. Let's make sure we've got a nice wide solid base, which I agree with, but then 50-50 so that we know that we've got balance. Now, if I were to start a golf swing with 50-50 balance, it's a very interesting thought process as to where your weight moves from there. Because initially what we see so often, and we'll start with the kind of mid-handicap floors that we see, or let's start with the high handicap floors and work our way down to mid and low, because generally when you are that kind of high handicap, you might struggle with ball striking a little bit. As you get to a mid handicap, the ball striking will probably improve slightly, and most low handicappers do generally strike the golf ball well most of the time, but we all have bad shots and bad swings. So if I stand 50-50 here, what's my initial thought? Because the club's moving this way for a right-handed golfer, and I see so many golfers move this way. And that can work. Whenever we do a golf lesson, whenever we do a video trying to help you guys, there's always an exception to the rule. So you can comment below saying that such and such does this and does it really well. So if I try and do that for you, I'm going to try and hit you a good shot with that movement. So 50-50, club goes right, weight goes left. I've tried my best there, and this is a 5-iron. It's gone nice and straight, it's gone down the fairway. It was a toey strike and it's carried 137 yards. I'll have one more go, because what you can start to rely on here is the element of timing. If you're a very skilled individual, if you're good at snooker, if you're good at pool, if you're good at darts, bowling, anything like that, you could be that really annoying guy that just does it really well, and you come for a golf lesson and it's very tough. But again, if I move weight left, that's a little bit better. It's still not the strike we want. Essentially what we're seeing here is someone who moves the weight to the left. So when you're at the top of the backswing, the weight has to go somewhere. If you stack and tilt, that could be slightly differently. I'm sure there's people in the comments already with that. Stack and tilt, you don't really see much weight transfer. You kind of go this way and then try and get really through it. You can tell that I'm not much of a stack and tilt player myself. But what I want to see is from address, and I always remember Gary Player, he actually said this to me face to face. It was a fantastic tip. I want to see, as that club moves away, your pressure, not your weight, your pressure moves into that right foot. So if I want that pressure to move into the right foot, imagine what happens if the club's moving this way and your pressure moves to your left foot. It's a really interesting way of moving the club away, because from there, you would almost have to get to the top, restructure yourself here, because we know essentially that at impact, where does your weight have to be, or where does your pressure have to be, Bobby?
Sorry, I won't be. What?
So basically, your pressure has to be left of the ball.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
It's all right, Bobby's behind the camera and you're doing a fantastic job. I wasn't expecting you to be listening. But what I don't want to see is any pressure whatsoever behind the ball at impact, because that's essentially what you start to see. Some people can play like that, so if you do have that, you can start to see that's the shot I was hoping to hit you. So we do see people who play this way, and that's a really, really good shot. I've thrown the club at it, whipped it underneath, it's got a good club path, and it's nice spin, 170 yards. That's a good shot, I'm happy with that, but you can see on the replay just how unmanageable that is, because if I do that again, and I'm successful with it, that's the shot that we get. So because I'm heading backwards here, I have to throw the club at the ball, and again, 163, it's okay, but it's not long, is it? I throw the club at the ball, the club's always rotating around, so essentially, it's pot luck as to how much that club face has rotated, and of course, potentially, we could be not only closing the face, but adding loft. And I always think when you hit a long iron high, you pretty much think you've done the job. So you think, oh, that's okay, I'm doing okay with that. I've struck it well. you've struck it well, but not really. It's not a consistent struck well, is it? So what I want to see, and this is the beauty, and I really hope, guys, if you're still here, comment below and let us know, because this is the secret key, and this is what I think the best ball striker of our generation did so obviously. So Henrik Stenson, for me, struck a golf ball like nobody else. He absolutely ripped it. His golf swing was fantastic, and he actually started, and most golfers do this, but it was more obvious, with about 60-65% of his pressure on the left side. So many golfers say, right, I want you to stand 50-50 and move from there. How can you do that? Because you've got nothing to push off of, nothing to move away from. And I actually did a lot of work with the body track team, working on pressure traces and things like that. And we did so much coaching on it. You actually realise that to be a good ball striker, to be a golfer that strikes the ball really well every time, you can't start with your weight 50-50 with your irons. It is pretty much impossible. It's almost like a sprinter. You've got a line of sprinters in the Olympics and one of them's got no blocks to be starting in. You think I'm in the blocks here ready to move away into the top of that backswing, but one guy hasn't got any. Is he got an advantage or a disadvantage? There's a reason why the rest of the guys have the blocks to push off of, and that's the best analogy I've ever heard for anybody wanting to improve their ball striking. So if I start now and I have, you don't need a body track or a pressure tracer or anything. All I want is a little bit more pressure on that left side. Now, what's the difference between pressure and weight? If I have my weight on my left side, I'm here. So I physically have to move to get the weight there. If I have my pressure on my left side, I just stand down a little bit more. So the pressure's there, and for me, that's me loading the blocks so I can then move away nicely. Now I've moved away nicely, that weight flows into the right side of the swing, and from there, I can, guess what? I've moved blocks from the left side to the right side, so I can start that downswing with a lovely rotational move. The pressure goes into the left side, ready for impact, and because the pressure's gone into the left side, the handle gets nice and forward. That creates the forward shaft lean, and from there, that's where we don't flip the club. I'm really excited by this, and I'm really getting into this because I feel like this could transform all of your ball striking if you struggle even just a little bit. Let's try and hit a couple. And I'm going to start pressure left. And a really good takeaway feeling for this is as you move away, club gets to about here, and as your hip starts to rotate, I'll load up to the top here. So you can see from there, I'm really nice and loaded into the right side, and I want to rotate down all the way here so that when I get into impact, this left hip has cleared down. If we really want to get into the nitty-gritty bones of this, the pressure wants to go into the left heel. You don't really want it moving into the toes. You don't want it moving into the balls of your feet, into that left heel, which does what to your hip? It moves the hip out of the way so you can then get your hands around your body exiting left. We then have that forward shaft lean we mentioned earlier, which de-lofts that golf club dynamically. So essentially that 5-iron, when you're hitting it this way, is a net 7-iron. 163 yards is pretty much a 7-iron, but it's not. It's not a net 7, it's not a net 6, it's not even a 5. It could well be a net 4-iron from where you've been. So we could move up 3 clubs in yardage just by standing a little bit differently at address, making sure that we get into those blocks at the top and rotating on the way down. Guys, I think this could be one of the best videos we've ever done here on Get Good at Golf, and I really hope it helps you get good at golf. I love it when a plan comes together, Bob, do you? Yes.